When was the last time you used a penny? Do you remember?
I think a couple years ago.
I feel like when I was little, I used to collect pennies, like in those like big glass jars, but probably not since I was a kid.
Maybe at the store like the other day when I needed like 3 cents, but that's when I have it in my purse, which is very rare.
Kind of crazy, honestly. Like, who would have thought like a penny that's been around for centuries just to be ending out of nowhere like that?
Get rid of the nickel next.
I don't really carry pennies anymore. It's not that important. I think they cost more to make than they do what they're worth, so no big deal.
Thanks for staying with The Big Deal. As 2025 draws to a close, America is saying goodbye to the penny. The U.S. Mint struck its final batch of pennies during a ceremonial send-off in Philadelphia last month. The Treasury Department says that the coin simply became irrelevant and too expensive to make, with production costs rising to nearly 4 cents per penny. But here's a fun fact. The penny is not the first American coin to get the axe. Meet the half cent, worth 1/200th of a dollar. It circulated for more than 60 years before being discontinued in 1857 for the very same reason. The production cost became too high for its low face value. As for the penny, the coin was introduced in 1793 under the direction of the first Secretary of the Treasury, Alexander Hamilton. Its earliest versions featured Lady Liberty, and that lasted until 1909, when it was redesigned with the portrait of Abraham Lincoln that we all recognize today. The penny once carried a lot of value, and you can still see its legacy every time you fill up your tank. You might have noticed over the years that the price per gallon always ends in 9/10 of a cent, like on this gas station in Illinois, which is advertising a regular gallon at $3.69 9/10 of a cent. So why not just round up? Well, the fractional pricing can be traced back to a 1932 law that created the very first federal tax on gasoline, used to help build new highways. When that tax kicked in, gas stations passed it directly to consumers, and instead of raising prices by a full cent, which at the time was a big deal, people hated the tax, so they chose to tack on 9/10 of a cent instead. It made the price appear lower. That's a marketing strategy known as just below pricing. Retailers use it all the time. This Christmas tree costs $53.99, a price point that feels noticeably cheaper to consumers somehow than $54, even though the difference is just a penny. Nearly 90 years later, fractional pricing remains the norm at gas stations nationwide. But over the years, there have actually been efforts to eliminate that. Iowa briefly banned fractional pricing in 1985 before reversing course 4 years later. And in California, one gas station owner tried rounding in 2006 on his own by setting the price of a gallon at $2.99, getting rid of that additional 9/10, but the gas station's customers didn't even notice, and the retailer saw a loss of about $23 a day. As for the penny itself, more than 3 billion coins remain in circulation. They are still considered legal tender, and they're accepted at retailers and businesses nationwide, including, of course, your nearest gas station. Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Let Spectrum News be your resource for balanced, in-depth political coverage, and click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV to learn more about the candidates, where they stand on the issues, and more. We'll see you then.